When two people secretly want each other, the world doesn't say it out loud, but the energy does. There's something haunting, magnetic, almost forbidden about the way two souls try to pretend they feel nothing while their hearts scream everything. It's the kind of connection that doesn't need a kiss, a confession, or even words, because the truth hides in the silence, the stolen glances, the way your body reacts before your mind can control it. And if you've ever wondered whether the feeling is mutual, pay attention. Because when two people like each other, there are signs that can't be faked. Welcome to Psychology of Desire. If you're new here, subscribe, turn on notifications, and step into a deeper understanding of attraction, desire, and the secrets people don't admit out loud. Now listen carefully, because the first undeniable sign isn't something they say. It's something their energy does. It's the way their presence changes you. You don't even have to see them walk into the room. Somehow your body just knows. Your heartbeat reacts before your eyes confirm they're near. You straighten up, fix your posture, try to pretend you weren't waiting for them, but your mind was already rehearsing what to say. Here's the psychological twist. When two people are mutually attracted, the body anticipates connection before the brain logically approves it. You feel more alive, a little nervous, a little excited, like your emotions suddenly woke up. And guess what? So do theirs. Watch how they behave around you. Do they suddenly become more aware of themselves, fix their hair, adjust their clothes? Do their eyes brighten just a little more the moment they see you? This isn't coincidence. This is subconscious signaling. Nature's way of saying they notice you, and they want you to notice them too. The funniest part is that both of you try to pretend you're calm. You try to hide the spark, but your physiology betrays you. There's a moment. It always happens when your eyes meet. That 1 second where neither of you looks away fast enough. That soft collision of souls that feels like time paused just for you two. If it was nothing, that moment would feel empty. But it doesn't. It feels charged. It feels like you just touched without touching. And that eye contact lingers. Not long enough to be obvious, but long enough that if either of you were brave enough, everything could change. Here's where psychology gets darker. When two people like each other, their minds start scanning each other. Quietly, carefully, like a thief scanning a locked safe, trying not to get caught. You notice their hands, their voice, the way they laugh, the way they smile, and they're noticing you too. You don't stare, but you both look again and again like two magnets pretending they aren't being pulled. Sometimes the connection is so strong it almost scares you. You don't know why you feel drawn to them. You just do. You think about what they might be thinking. You replay conversations. You analyze moments that should have been ordinary but for some reason weren't. This is the first undeniable sign. A person can hide their words, control their behavior, mask their intentions, but attraction leaks through the body. It shows in the eyes, it shows in the voice, it shows in the way silence becomes loud when they're standing next to you. And deep down you feel it. They feel it too, even if nobody ever says it. If this sounds familiar, maybe your story isn't imagination. Maybe it's mutual. There's another sign. Subtle, innocent on the surface, but psychologically powerful. When someone likes you and you like them back, conversations stop being normal. They become heavier, deeper, strangely meaningful, even when you're talking about nothing. A simple, "How was your day?" suddenly feels intimate. Not because of the words, but because of the tone. Their voice softens with you. Yours does too. You both talk like you're trying to undress each other's mind without being obvious. This is where emotional vulnerability begins slipping through the cracks. Most people talk on autopilot. Quick replies, shallow details, no emotional investment. But when two people secretly care, they start revealing pieces of themselves. Fears, dreams, what keeps them awake at night, the things that are heavy, private, unfiltered. Here's the psychological clue. Humans don't open up to people they feel nothing for. We reveal our real selves when we feel emotionally safe, and attraction creates that safety faster than friendship ever can. Watch their body language when you talk. They lean in without realizing. Their voice gets quieter, like the conversation belongs only to you. They listen differently. not to respond, but to understand. They remember the little things you say, the tiny details most people forget within seconds. But they don't forget. Because you're not just anyone to them. And you're not innocent either. You remember their favorite song, their favorite coffee, the way they said something 3 weeks ago. Why? Because your mind stores what your heart wants. Then there's another sign people try to hide. Jealousy disguised as caring. It's not dramatic, not loud, just quiet flashes of tension. Someone else talks to you and you see that subtle shift in their eyes. They try to act unbothered, but the smile tightens. Their posture changes. They suddenly need your attention back. Even if they never admit it, the feeling is there. Silent jealousy only appears when emotions exist. And the strange part? You don't even have to talk every day. The connection isn't based on frequency. It's based on intensity. You can go days without speaking. But when you reconnect, it feels like no time passed at all. That's emotional imprinting. When someone matters, they don't just exist in your life. They exist in your mind. Another undeniable sign appears here. They treat you differently than everyone else. Not dramatically, but in the quiet ways. They notice your mood instantly. If you're upset, they ask if you're okay. They pay attention to your silence. People don't do that unless you matter. Attraction also creates protectiveness. You don't want to see them hurt. You defend them. Sometimes silently, sometimes out loud. Even small criticism from someone else makes you uncomfortable. That's emotional prioritization. The mind automatically gives special treatment to someone important. And here's another psychological truth. They get nervous around you. Someone confident with everyone else suddenly becomes softer, careful, shy, or awkward. They overthink their words. They laugh too easily. They fix their posture. Their voice shifts. Attraction is a biological stress response. Your brain becomes hyper-aware of the person you want. But the strongest sign is this. They notice your absence. When you walk away, they look for you. When you go quiet, they wonder why. When you take longer to reply, they feel it. Humans don't chase people they feel nothing for. We chase the ones who make us feel alive. And sometimes the most confusing part is this. You both know something is there. But nobody says it. Because liking someone who likes you back is terrifying. You're afraid of ruining the friendship. They're afraid of rejection. So you both live in the almost, the tension, the unspoken chemistry. But chemistry never stays silent forever. It always finds a way to show itself. And one moment always gives the truth away. The goodbye. When two people like each other, goodbyes never feel simple. There's hesitation, a pause, a tiny delay like both of you are waiting for something. A word, a look, a sign. Maybe they say, "All right, see you later." But their voice doesn't sound ready to leave. Their body lingers. Their mind tries to stretch every last second. That's attachment hesitation. And even when you're gone, you stay in their thoughts. They replay conversations, moments, glances. You do the same. Checking your phone, wondering if they'll text, hoping they'll start a conversation about anything. Because people who like you will always find a way to stay present in your world, even if they don't have the courage to confess it. And sometimes the truth finally appears in the smallest moment. A simple touch, a hand brushing yours, a shoulder pressing a little longer than necessary, a silent question. Will you pull away or lean closer? Because the body always tells the truth before the voice does. And that's the greatest psychological secret of all. When two people like each other, they don't always need words. The connection speaks for them. In the eye contact, in the silence, in the jealousy, in the unfinished goodbyes. Mutual attraction is two hearts playing chess. Both wanting, both waiting, both afraid to lose. And sometimes the only reason the words haven't been spoken is because the connection is too beautiful to risk breaking. But the truth is already there. In the eyes, in the energy, in the silence, you both like each other. And deep down, you both know it.